Do you want to discover more joy, peace, and freedom with food, exercise, and your body? Here we bring a compassionate, holistic, and sustainable approach to fitness so you can fully enjoy the life you want and express your unique self with the world. I'm Michelle Roscoe, and I want to help you find fitness freedom. I'm so glad you're here. Hey, do you ever feel unmotivated to exercise, work out, eat well? Maybe you've just been feeling exhausted, you've been lacking motivation, and you're frustrated and maybe even a little confused. Maybe you come home after a long day of draining work and you can't drag yourself to switch into workout clothes or make a healthy meal for yourself. So you sit on the couch and stay there until you drag yourself to bed feeling tired and unfulfilled. Worst, you're frustrated with yourself and promise you'll do better tomorrow, and then you wake up and the same cycle continues. Or maybe you've been exercising, but you're feeling exhausted. You're not quite hitting your PRs, your personal records. You're getting lethargic. Maybe you're sick of eating the same old healthy meals over and over. In both situations, the common denominator is you've lost motivation, chutzpah, oomph. So what do? I'm going to give you 4 simple steps you can take that will make a huge difference for you and completely shift your outlook on your fitness and your energy. So first off, number 1, when you're feeling low energy, our tendency is to get upset at ourselves. Like we say, why aren't you doing more? What's wrong with you? Suck it up. You should be able to do more, whatever your inner critic says. And we judge ourselves for how we're feeling. So we're not only feeling the discomfort of our lower energy, we add to the pain by criticizing ourselves. It's like the 2 arrows that Buddha talks about. One arrow is the event that is difficult, and then the second arrow is how we perceive it. And we can sometimes cause ourselves unnecessary pain by, instead of accepting the situation, we criticize ourselves for it. So instead of shaming yourself, I encourage you to get curious. Just think, what is this trying to tell me? What do I need from this? Which leads me to the next step, number 2, trust yourself. And this is, I know, the hardest thing to do when your brain is screaming, you need to do more, work harder, what's wrong with you, suck it up. But ask yourself, where are these thoughts coming from? Whose voice is this? Who is actually telling you to do more? You might notice it's coming from outside voices, maybe something you've picked up from growing up. Maybe it's just societal pressure, messages around hustle culture, messages around speed, productivity, action. We live in a world that prizes doing over being, a culture of burnout, hustle, and focusing on external markers of success, like, what our possessions are, or how much money we make, or how we look. But could you be a rebel and fight against the urge to keep going? Could you be a rebel and trust yourself instead of those voices? Could you be a rebel and actually listen to your body? Which, again, leads me to the next step. Do a status check. If you're feeling lethargic, aside from those voices that are shaming you, you're ready to trust yourself. Now you can actually check in with your lifestyle, your environment, what's been happening over the last few weeks, few months, even years maybe. So here are some questions to check in with your health and fitness, and in this order. So number 1, we're going to talk about sleep. How has your sleep been? What has the quality of your sleep been? Are you getting enough sleep? And enough is when you wake up and you feel refreshed and you feel ready to go. What has the quality of your sleep been? How well are you sleeping? Are you restless? If your sleep is off, then of course you're lacking that energy. Another thing, number 2, in this order, stress. How would you rate the amount of stress you've been under? Maybe you're saying, Michelle, it's like a 10 out of 10, or it's like surpassing 10, and I'm like past my capacity. Yeah, that would make sense that you're feeling lethargic. And a lot of the time, it's not just our physical stress, it's our mental stress, putting those shoulds on ourselves, like I talked about with that shame. Stop shaming yourself. And consider all kinds of stress we have: emotional stress, mental stress, physical stress. We have environmental stress. We have trauma that affects us, or relationship stress. All of these things can contribute to our overall allostatic load, is what it's called, that kind of stress bank. And the more that we have, even if it's a lot of small stresses, they really add up. Was it last week, 2 weeks ago, I was processing some things around privilege and how my upbringing and how my multiracialness affects the way that I move in the world and how other people perceive me, and how it adds a lot of micro stress. Those things that adds up, like sometimes I hear racist comments. People have a lot of misunderstandings around where I come from. Being a woman, a queer woman in this world, you're not at the top of that privilege pyramid, and that stress adds up. So considering, how you present in this world, your identities, and how that adds to your stress. And that could be not just like a stressful workday or a stressful project that you're working through. It could be years, decades of stress. Think about that. And number 3, next question, nutrition. What have you mostly been eating? Not here and there, but like mostly. What is the majority of your diet composed of? Are you eating nutritious foods? How much of your diet has been nutritious? And you probably have a general understanding of that. Is your food energizing you? Do you feel good after you eat? Or are you feeling tired? Are you relying on sugar for quick fixes? Are you getting enough food? If you're training a lot, if you're exercising a lot, are you getting enough? That's often a problem. We're not eating enough. Like protein, produce, vegetables, and fruits. Are you getting healthy fats? Are you getting enough carbs? Checking in with your nutrition. One of the biggest ways that we can affect our mental health for the positive is by our diet. It's intrinsically tied. And by the way, if you are wanting to hear more about how you can improve your mental health through fitness, check out my episode, a couple of episodes down, how to drastically improve your mental health through fitness, if that's something of interest to you. And then number 4, exercise or movement. How much have you been active in the last few weeks? How intense has it been? Is it too intense? Is your volume too high? Maybe you're overtraining. Or sometimes when we're not walking enough and we're not moving enough, our bodies are lethargic and we need to move. And if you're feeling unmotivated, one of the best things you can do is go for a quick walk. Go outside, even if it's cold or even if it's hot. Go for a 5-minute walk. Just embrace the weather, whatever it is. Enjoy some sunshine. Go check out some plants. Hang around a tree. Even just 5 minutes of that can really boost your mental health, your physical health, your energy. And of course, that's a minimum. If you have more, go do a workout. Do some exercise. Move around. If you're not sure what to do, DM me, message me. I'll hook you up with some workouts that you can do anytime, anywhere. So after asking all these questions, don't judge yourself for your answers. Just look at it like a detective or a scientist. Be objective about it. And if you listen to yourself and you trust yourself, like number 2, you're probably able to see where you are out of balance. You trust yourself there. You know the answers. I can give you these questions to ask, but in the end, you can know yourself, you can trust yourself and what your answers are. And then lastly, number 4, revolutionary, but step number 4, actually give yourself what you need. Give yourself what you need. Wow, how incredible. But it is actually pretty, sometimes goes against the grain. Like I've been saying, like in our culture, in our society, we value this hustle, this doing, these actions, being productive, that stopping is revolutionary. Yesterday, I had a whole day planned. I was going to go to this conference in the local area I live in, which is Madison, Wisconsin. It's a great conference, and I went there last year and I met some great people. It was a wonderful opportunity, and I was planning. It's been on my calendar for a few weeks, and all of my intentions were ongoing. And I had volunteer tutoring English in the evening. So I had a whole day planned. It was full. It was packed. I was going to leave early and then come back really late, be out all day. And then I got all ready to go. I had my workout clothes packed for an afternoon workout in between those two things. And I just had a full day planned. And then it came time to leave. And I sat down, and I've been doing this exercise of asking myself, Michelle, what do you want? And getting clear on what I want before I get into action. And I realized my first answer, and very loud answer, was sleep. I went sleep. I'm tired. I don't think I hadn't slept the night before, and I've just been working. So I was tired. So I said, all right, I'll give myself some sleep. So I rested a little bit. I took a little nap. And then I got up and I felt better, and I was like, all right, now it's time to go. I'm going to be a little bit late, but that's okay. So I was still feeling some resistance, like, oh, I kind of wish I could sleep. But I got on my bike, I was on my way, and I felt this urge. Like I was riding past the lake on a bike path, and it was a beautiful day, beautiful sunshiny summer day. The kind that at least I just craved to be outside. And I felt this tug of war going on inside me, where one side was like, Michelle, you want rest. You need space. You need to just be and sit in nature and think about what you want and daydream and have some time to yourself, just you and you in nature. And then the other part of me was like, no, you got to go to this event. There's going to be so many opportunities. You're going to miss out if you don't go. And like, who are you to not work today? Like, how could you do this? You need to work. You don't be lazy. Which voice do you think was a little bit kinder? I knew if I was being honest, I was riding my bike, and I knew if I was being honest with myself, I had to listen to the first voice. So I literally veered off the course and put my bike against a tree, took off my helmet, and sat down on the grass by the lake and had a conference with the bees and the birds at the lake with flowers and grass, sitting on the grass, thinking about my dreams and what I want for my life. And I do not regret a thing. I actually got some coffee and waffles for lunch and listened to an audiobook. I found some good books at the thrift shop and just had a really good day. It's exactly what my spirit needed. It was exactly what I needed. So my question is for you. What do you need? Can you give yourself a break? Do you need to take a day off? Do you need to schedule a whole weekend of nothing? Do you need to plan a vacation? Do you need to go on an adventure? Do you need to say no to a commitment? Do you need to drop a few things in your life to make more space for what you really want? Do you need to go outside and sit in nature? Maybe you need to go shopping and buy some nutritious food and make a fun trip out of it. Maybe you need to call in and take a mental health day or a sick day. Maybe you need to be more active. Maybe you really, really, really need to be less active. It's a radical thought, but actually give your body what it needs. Take away the shoulds or the shouldn'ts and actually take care of yourself. So those are my 4 steps for you if you are lacking in motivation. Number 1, stop shaming yourself. Number 2, trust yourself. 3, do a status check on your life. And number 4, actually give yourself what you need based on that status check. If this was helpful for you, please leave a positive review for the podcast. And if you'd like to share your thoughts or questions with me, connect with me on Instagram or Facebook at Michelle and Roscoe. You can find me, put a link in the show notes, or you can email me, michelle@mlroscoe.com. And if you are hungry for more, if you'd like to dive deeper into getting motivated in your fitness, maybe you have a specific goal you would like to reach and you're feeling frustrated that you're not able to because of a lack of motivation or energy, I invite you to get my free masterclass, Fitness Motivation, to give you even more insight and support in your health goals. And I put a link to that in the show notes where you can get that for free. And I hope that this was helpful for you and that you listen to yourself and really take care of yourself because you deserve it. Do you want to get the happy, healthy life that you want, that you really want, in a compassionate, sustainable, and holistic way, without the pain or strain, even if you've tried everything and it hasn't worked, or you're a complete fitness noob? Become the hero of your own body, health, and life by joining the Healthy Heroes. It's the most sustainably effective, enjoyable, and comprehensive fitness community to help you live your healthiest life and enjoy your fittest body without having to diet, punish yourself, restrict your food, or strain in pain. You can join as soon as today by clicking the link in the show notes. Let's become the hero of your own health so that you can enjoy your life to the fullest and express your unique self with the world.